Hey, welcome to another video. Today, a very actionable video on how to quit your job. This is no fluff, this is just pure reality. I quit my job this month. I made a video about it. You can find it under the weekly report playlist on my channel. I just quit my job is the title of that video. And I actually just quit my job. I worked at this company for around 2 years. Finally, I was working there as a junior sales support and I decided to quit. And in this video, I will teach you how I did it and break it down for you using my iPad, making some notes so you can see what I'm doing. And I hope you can benefit off of that. So without further ado, let's get into it. I grab my pen and I grab my tablet now. And then I will share my screen. So you can see what I'm doing. Okay, so how to quit your job. And this is for all of the people that are sure they want to quit your job. I don't want to motivate you in quitting your job just because you want to find out how it works. You have to be sure, you have to be certain that this is a decision you want to make, either because you pursue something else or because you need to take time off or whatever your reason might be. But this is just a simple guide on how to do it when you need to do it. At least based on my experience, I have quit only one job so far because this was the first job that had a contract that had no automatic expiration date. So that's why I had to actively go to the human resources department and my colleagues and tell them about quitting. So here's how I did it. First, of course, I made the decision. You can say yes, you can say no. And in this case, I decided that I wanted to quit my job. Well, with step 1 being completed, we can move on to step 2. So step 1 is done. Step 2 is, and this is what everybody does if they have a real good relationship to the people they work at, and because you spend a lot of time at work, so it is probably good to let other people know about it. This is at least what I thought. So I first, before I told anybody else and made it official that I was leaving, or planning to leave at least, was telling it to my manager. Letting him know of my reasons, and basically bringing him the information. So let's call this inform your manager or the person you work with or whatever. It just has to do with your individual context or your business partner or your co-founder. I think you get the point. Let the other person know about what you want to do. And please be absolutely sure that you want to do it, because you don't want to get talked out of it. You want to make your mind up before you go into the conversation, because you want to have made the decision before the conversation and not get a little bit shaky in your decision while having the conversation. This is not very credible. If then you are also if your decision is destroyed and you keep working there, this is not a good image on your character, on your ability to pull through and act on a decision. And that's why I advise you to be really, really certain again that you actually want to quit your job. It's a final decision, not something that can be easily reversed. At least not in my knowledge. Okay, so you want to inform your manager. And this, for me, probably has been the hardest part, letting people know about it. The decision itself was not that hard, actually, but starting the conversation, in my case, it was a remote conversation, but pressing this button to call my manager over a software and speaking to him virtually was the hardest click I ever did on a software. It was even easier to press publish on my first YouTube video than to clicking the call button on this software. So this, at least for me, it was hard. if you like your job, probably it will be hard for you as well. But then I, on the other side, don't get why you would want to leave it. But that's a decision that's up to you. I don't want to tell you anything about why that should be good or bad or whatever. You have to decide it on your own. I can't stress this enough. Okay, you want to inform your manager. After that is done, you want to inform your colleagues. And excuse my bad handwriting, of course. And it is pretty similar. And it is actually, that's how I did it. It's derivative. So the fourth step would be inform HR or the human resources department. And in every step you can tell the step that you are right now about the previous step. So when I went to my colleagues, I told them that I had already spoken to my manager and wanted to tell them about the news, about my decision. Then when I went on to the HR department, well, I said I've already told about the decision. I informed my colleagues, I informed my manager, so everybody already knows the information, and then the HR department also knows about it. This is very beneficial to all parties because then there is no surprise when the email goes around of your name and when your last workday is and that you're leaving and that kind of stuff. So you want no surprises with this one. Trust me, this can end pretty badly if you don't know what you're doing. So be friendly, and this way you also up your chances to get a great work certificate, which is, at least in Germany, a piece of paper that certifies what you did at the company, what value you provided, what you worked on, who you worked with, how they would rate you if they were to work with you again. Maybe you can get some good reviews from these people on a social media platform like LinkedIn, for example. Ask them about your partnership. Let them know that you are always open to keeping in contact, maybe even hiring them if you're starting a business later down the line. Let people know about that you will keep in touch with them, because that's what they deserve if you have spent a lot of time with them. It's the reason why people say your job is your second family, essentially. And from this point on, step 5 is basically just paper stuff or organizational stuff, housekeeping as it's called. Housekeeping. And that is individual for everybody else. But yeah, your HR department will tell you all the steps you need to take, they will need to take. Have a look first what like your deadlines are when you need to quit so that you are even allowed to quit, what the deadlines are. So do you need to quit the month prior to then leave the month following? How that works, it's always individual for everybody. It was this case for me personally, and yeah, that should work it out. That's at least how it worked for me. It took like 7 days to run through everything. It took another day to hand in my printed sheet, my version of saying, yeah, I've quit. And then I got a response confirming that I've quit. And now when I will give back all of the gear that I was able to use, meaning my laptop, some cable stuff, a mouse, headphones, that kind of stuff, you have to give it back, at least my company where I've worked at. There I will get the certificate that I've worked there, and I will also get it in a digital version as well, sent per email to my email address. So be friendly, talk to people, let them know that this is a decision and nothing will ever be final. You will always see people multiple times in your life, meaning just if you leave your colleague now, doesn't mean you will never see them ever again. Maybe you will hire them, maybe you will start a business with them, maybe you will do business with them from a new company, who knows. Build a network of people that are like-minded, that make you grow as a person, and nothing bad can happen. And always be friendly if you talk to people, and talk to them as if you were equal. Don't make anybody smaller than they actually are. Don't be rude. Be friendly, be open-minded, and everybody else in the room will be definitely comfortable for you. This does not only apply if you quit your job, but also if you interview for a job and in general life. as well. So if you enjoyed this and if you want to learn more, maybe about starting a business, launching a business, scaling a business, and then monetizing that business, then check out my newsletter in the description down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.